Hello comrade, yes it's me, Yorkshireman, now living in Wales. I'm back again and I hope everybody's okay. So I'm going to talk about a post I came across on Facebook today. And what this post demonstrates is how far councils and governments are going to restrict our freedoms. And in addition to that, they're also going to hammer small businesses, despite in the budget. Yes, in the budget they're saying we are there to support small businesses. Right. Well, I'm going to say that's untrue. Now, what I'm also going to try and get you to think about is this is just one small piece of a jigsaw of removing independence from businesses and people. Yes, and it's to do with transport. So, this is from Facebook, as you can see, and it's from Wayne. Wayne, if I remember, has a window site because he had a quick check to make sure it was all above board, and it was. And as you can see, there's 69 comments. Now, I did that this morning, so the comments are immense now. Anyway, so what he says is that to all residents with restrictions for school access cameras, we cannot drive down your road between 8:30 and 9:30 and 2:30 and 3:30. We will no longer be pricing or carrying out work in these areas. Being booked twice no more, country gone mad. He also gives a list of the areas. Now, prior to me sort of having a bit of an easy life, I helped a mate of mine, electrician, and I've helped builders out, so I know where he's coming from. Because literally, when you start a job, you have to get there for say 7:30 and the rest of it, and well, you might have to nip off, get somewhere, then you're tidying up and you're doing everything. And to do a good job, you need to be prepared and you need to be flexible, because sometimes you might have to do one job, go to another job. And having the possibility of having restricted access, I mean, when I was working with him, it was bad enough if you had a good parking spot, then you had to come back and find another parking spot. Never mind, literally, getting fined or not being able to go down the road to carry out a work a customer wants. And I've had a quick look at the areas, and I'll just show you them. So this is one of the areas here, and I think this is Leckwith. The other area here, this looks like it's part of Leckwith, but the other, I can't remember what the name was here. And then we go on to the last one here. I can't pronounce this and I'm not even going to have a go. But all I'm going to say is, as you look at those, literally all those people in those areas are now not going to be able to get Wayne's business. And by default, he himself is going to cut off his nose, because he cannot afford to keep it going. So let's just say Wayne employs people, right? So eventually he might just end up with himself, because he's very limited to where he can go per a business to then make money out of it. Because literally, if you then just take it a little bit further, and if you watch my other videos, so he's driving along, right? Suddenly you see road charging. He goes, oh God, right? So he now knows to get there, he has to gonna have to charge the customer an extra tenner, right? To get somewhere on a road what he's paid for already, because the councils are going to do road charging. I don't care what anybody says, they want the money. So he's going to get road charging. Let's just say he starts a job, he runs off, a job runs over, something else happens, he has to nip out, he could then get fined 60 quid. Who's going to pay that? It could be 60 quid, I'm not sure. So all this is not helping businesses. It will also go on to taxis, it'll go on to delivery drivers, you name it, it'll go on to all sorts. Now, some of the posts I've seen where people are saying I can't even access my own road or park outside my own house between certain hours, because it's a similar thing. Now, I don't know how true that is, so if you know it's true, then leave a comment. Now, and then I'll look at some of the other posts, and it is quite interesting how people sort of view things at times. Now, Callan here says, well, it's illegal, it's all illegal. Right, unfortunately, Callan, I'm going to say it's not, but it brings up a good point. The question I always have is, if it is so distasteful, surely one of our great members of the Senate or members of the Parliament would have spoke up. One of the parties like Conservatives, Labour, Plaid Cymru, there's only three. One of them would have said, well, no, because they all agree with it. So when it comes to voting, you need to vote for a totally different party. It's as simple as that. Right, so we look at Brian. Brian basically just turned his car around to comply with nighttime rule of parking, so he's doing the right thing. Somehow he ended up getting fined 60 quid, or as he says, he got done for 60 quid. Ironically, his family lives in that street. You couldn't believe it. So now let's have a look at that. So he's now got 60 quid fine in the post. So he doesn't have 60 quid anymore. Now just imagine each time that happens, would you want to go back there? If there's a visitor, you wouldn't go back there. And this is where it then becomes really bizarre. Because the Welsh Government in the budget have literally said they want to encourage businesses and they want to encourage people. Well, you're not. You see, that's what I don't understand about all of that, and it's disingenuous, and that's me being kind. Right, so then I also look at this one by Joanne James, and this sort of sums it up. Delivery driver delivering to the school got a fine. Whether or not it's funny or not, I've no idea. But then she goes on to say that, yeah, they did take the fine back, proof was sent they were there for a purpose, school had said you can deliver these, but they were given a warning not to enter during the hours and etc. Right, and she says, so a lot of the areas around there, they're going to just get attempted delivery, yeah? Oh, we tried, but we're not doing it. It's as simple as that, because there's a risk involved. So, if you think about all the big supermarket home delivery companies, how's that going to impact on them? Because all they're going to do is they say, well, if you want to get, say, between 8:30 or 9:30, you're not having a delivery then. That's not happening. So you might get now a 2-hour window. Or you might not get one at all. Or they might do what they want to try and do, and these are the big companies, they want you to go to a central point, so now you're having to go out. I don't know how you're going to get out, because they don't want you to have a car to then pick up all your food and your groceries. Or maybe you just try and get to the supermarket on a push bike or a bus. And that's why it doesn't make any sense anymore. It does not make any sense. The only people who might benefit are the really, really big businesses. But independent businesses, they're all going to suffer because of this. So it doesn't make any really sort of sense at all. And again, then you look at Alison here, people won't get buses, they just won't go into town, and that's true. Because the bus is not convenient. Where I used to live, I used to have to walk about 1.5 miles to get the bus. So really, it was like a ridiculous scenario. And again, it just says, so businesses will just suffer, whether in the high street or not in the high street, because there's other posts where it says, so Labour have now said that parking is limited to 1 hour, even for blue badge holders. So it could take you 10 minutes to get in and out of your car. So how does that work? So I do think some of these sort of things are actually discriminatory as well, because people need access, but you're stopping the access. So there's something there which doesn't seem quite right to me. And then we're going to Denny Jones here. Makes the point, Wales has gone absolutely crazy. Customers who need work done are going to suffer with higher prices, because builders, etc., cannot work a full shift. And that's the point I've said already. But again, it's not just me. Then all these comments go on and on and on. And then from June here, small businesses affected by... So this person DJ'd, did a DJ for somebody at a wedding. Was it a wedding? Yeah, it was a wedding. Sent to Bristol, had to pay £18 to enter ULEZ because they passed over on 2 days. So from what I can tell, started at 10 in the evening, went home at 2 in the morning. One journey there and one journey back, but because of the dates, had to double the price. I mean, how does that work? It's just stupidity, isn't it? But as I've said to you, for those who are like saying, oh no, this is really good, it's a nonsense, I guarantee you that it's happening now, and we can see it happening in real time. And again, that's why the main media don't want to talk about it, because when it comes to voting in 2026, they want still the same people in power. It's as simple as that. So the question is, what can you do about it? Well, it's quite simple. You either get onto a local council, whether you want to or not, you have to put yourself out. I have been a member of a council, not as a councillor, in another role, and to be honest, I'll admit, yeah, you want to bang your head against the desk. It's as simple as that, right? But you have to do it to make a change. It's as simple as that. The more of you go there, the more fun you can have. In addition to that, when it comes to voting, you can't vote for any of the established parties because, as I've said already, they are literally all the same. Right, comrades, I wish you had better news, but I don't. Power to the people. Please like it and tick subscribe. Catch you on the other side. Thank you.